Hey YouTube, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. I wanted to do a short video that's kind of out of the ordinary for tonight, and it's about not living someone else's destiny. Kind of sounds cheesy and philosophical, but the reason I want to address this is I see a lot of students stressing out about certain things that are kind of out of their control. I do the exact same thing. I placed 5th in the National Chopin competition, and I was like, okay, this is my year. I'm going to finally go compete in Warsaw. And I was so ready. And I thought my audition went pretty well. I had, a few missed notes in my audition, but I didn't think that was going to be enough to kind of, disqualify me. I thought my music was beautiful enough and the meaning behind it was good enough. And then sure enough, I didn't get in. And a lot of things in my mind kind of kept going through my mind, like, what the heck, are you not good enough? Are you, why didn't you get in? Oh, it's just political. Then you start blaming other people and all these things, and then you it just got over. And I was so proud of my fellow American fellow American colleagues, Eric Liu and Kate Liu, that did so well. They did 3rd and 4th place. And a lot of times you can kind of get wrapped up in competitions or recitals or even just your own pieces, and you can start to become very discouraged, and you can think, I'm never going to be like Martha Argerich, or I'm never going to be like Evgeny Kissin, or even Daniel Trifonov. He's a wonderful example, someone I truly admire, and he's younger than I am, and I'm nowhere near where he's at. His repertoire is enormous. It's so polished. Everything he does is incredible, but I'm stacking myself up against the best. He is the best young pianist, or one of the best young pianists, probably in this century. He's pretty amazing. If you're comparing yourself to Horowitz or Argerich, or, even your colleagues who are, above you, that's not necessarily a bad thing to compare yourself, because you're always striving. But try not to live someone else's destiny. A lot of times I think, why can't I just win more competitions? I've won a handful of international competitions, but they're not like huge ones. And a lot of times I think, oh, geez, if I could only play the double thirds etude as fast as this person. That's like my big weakness, is thirds. Or if only I could do this, or if only I could do that. Whereas really, I love teaching too. And I feel like I'm okay at it. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And I've been able to reach so many people, both through my YouTube channel and through Skype lessons and through teaching in my area. I've been able to perform at some really amazing venues. I've been able to perform at Carnegie Hall and Kennedy Center and, make some great albums. But it's never really enough for any of us. We always are trying to live someone else's dream, live someone else's destiny. We're trying to say, if only I could be playing with the New York Philharmonic, I would be happy. Or if only I could, make a record that, could be on this record label. Or if only I could have this many concerts. Or if only I could, it goes on forever. And so tonight's message is just that, just live your own destiny. What can you do that makes a difference? What can you do that can contribute in a significant way? Maybe it is, you're just yet another performer. You don't have to do something radical, but what can you bring to the interpretations of those pieces that you're doing that will actually sound different and make a contribution? Or if you're not a natural born performer, or if you're a good performer, but, not top tier. That's kind of where I feel like I'm at. I'm a good performer, and I have a doctorate in piano performance. I feel like I'm pretty solid, but I might not be, top tier. I'm not winning huge competitions, but I still feel like I can contribute. And I talk to the audience between every piece. I always try to bring the stories to life between pieces, and that's something different. People have said, that's something I don't really see in a lot of classical piano concerts. Maybe you do something like that. Maybe you start a project that benefits the lives of young musicians. My wife, Lindsay, is writing this huge online curriculum for Title I schools, underprivileged schools here in Utah, and then she wants to expand it nationwide. So whatever it is that you can contribute, have that be your focus. Don't focus on, one element of technique. I teach this brilliant amateur student. He's probably around 50 years old. I don't know his exact age. His name's Bob Seppi. He's amazing. And we were talking about this very thing tonight. And he's preparing for the Van Cliburn amateur competition. And he said, I just feel like I'm getting worse. I don't know what it is. And a lot of times we can play mind games on ourselves, and we can start to kind of sabotage ourselves because we feel like we're not good enough. And he was like, oh, this Mendelssohn concerto sounds horrible. It was one little thing. He was tightening up on one little thing, and once we fixed that, the whole concerto kind of came together. And so don't get too discouraged if you come across the problem. Search for creative ways that you can overcome those problems. And again, at the core of everything, think, what is my purpose? Why am I doing music? What is this for? Is it to create my own happiness? Is it to bless the lives of someone else? All of the above. And try to find something that makes deeper meaning in your life while you're doing music, rather than simply just trying to live someone else's career. So I hope that's been insightful. I just felt like, I do so many pro practice videos, I do so many videos on technique, that I thought I'd just take a moment tonight to talk a little bit about the philosophies behind why we do what we do, and that even someone like me, who's making all these videos, who's living a career in music, I do music all day, every day, even I have doubts about myself, even I have struggles, and I've talked to amazing people like even Daniel and his teacher Sergei Babayan, and they still have doubts about themselves. I've talked to them before, and they're very humble individuals, amazing individuals, and when I can see someone like them who still is so humble and still is working so hard on things, man, they practice like crazy. You would think when you're that good, you don't need to practice as much. They practice more than any of us do, I'm sure. So realize that it's always a journey, that it's never over, and that's the beauty of it. So I hope this has been helpful. Have a wonderful night. If any of you have questions, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. I'll get back to posting more technique videos and pro practice videos next week. Thanks.